Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Amista, and I'm here tonight to do a little bit of Reiki, read some tarot cards, catch up with some regulars, meet some new people, and all of that fun stuff that I normally come out here to do. We are going to start off with 5 minutes of Reiki, and I'm going to start that right now. I am setting the intention for whatever is for your highest and best good. If you have something more specific that you would like that intention to focus on, feel free to go ahead and set that intention for yourself. And that holds even if you're not watching me right now and you come in later, then you can still set that intention and it'll be just fine because spirit, which Reiki is spirit, is not limited by time or by place. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? All right, and we're going to do this for 5 minutes. So that means at 9 after the hour is when the Reiki will be complete. But for right now, we're just sending Reiki to all the viewers who are here now and all the viewers who will be here later. Four more minutes of Reiki. Hello there, Ms. Rhoda. We're doing Reiki for a few minutes. I'm actually soaking up quite a bit myself. Mercury has been retrograding all over me today, and I feel a little beat up, so this Reiki's feeling pretty good. Cheryl Ford, hello, hello, welcome. We're doing Reiki for about 3 more minutes, honey bunny. Yesterday was pretty smooth. I don't know what happened today. I should actually look at an astrology chart in the transits because, man, I felt it today. The one thing I have to say is it all worked out well in the end. That's the one thing I have to say. Devyani, hello, hello. We're doing Reiki for about 2 more minutes, honey bunny. After that, we'll get into some manifestation advice and then we'll look at some cards for some people. What are you guys using your Reiki for today? Sister girl. Well, when we finish Reiki, then we'll start hitting the tarot, but we're not there yet, honey bunny. We've got 1 more minute on the Reiki. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a little boy playing outside the window there. It's not a soundproof window. All right, let's wrap up the Reiki. Well, you're a little early on that trigger finger. I still have to clear some cards and we have to do some manifestation advice, and then we're going to get into the rest. Usually I clear cards first, but I decided I want to shake it up and do it a little different. Just run straight into the Reiki, then work with the cards. Did this lady try to say that she's Trevor's baby mama? And you're trying to see if she's like really telling the real deal or if she's just a mess? Or are you just suspecting it and want to check it out? Inquiring minds want to know the real juice behind the questions. Oh, excuse me. And I want to just make a recommendation that we just use first names here on the channel. We don't need to be like basically doxing anybody here. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boop-a-doo-doo. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. No matter how much we like them or don't like them. Boop-a-doo, 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 doo-doo. Oh, gotcha. So she's sus. She's sus. All right. So I'm going to have you actually copy and paste that question later on after we do our manifestation advice. Because I don't really take questions until I take questions. And otherwise, it kind of looks like I'm showing you, playing favorites with you and letting you jump in line. I don't want anybody getting their feelings hurt. Oh, I was trying to hit the mic button first, guys. I'm so sorry. Didn't make it. I was trying to mute it first. All right, let's see. Best manifestation advice over the next 24 hours. It might be wear ear protection next time you watch Amista on a video. Let's see what we have. Best advice. Boopity-doo-doo, boopity-doo-doo. Ooh, 3 of stones in reverse. Ooh, the archer. Oh, now this is really interesting. Huh. I don't know how to get a glare. I literally have my light facing away from the desk and I still have a glare. All right, so anyway, let's look at our manifestation advice here. What we have showing up is the 3 of stones coming up in reverse. This basically says that there's something that we're planning on working out with somebody else, creating, collaborating on with them, and that we are using towards getting our manifestation taken care of. That other person is not going to be able to do everything that they think that they can do to help us do that. Okay, so we just need to wipe that idea right out of our minds. And we need to start looking at how we can accomplish what we want to accomplish independently, because we are well able. This is a card that talks about success here with the Archer card. Talks about success, talks about divine help with the white dogs in the background. That's divine help. Talks about with focus because she's focusing the arrow before she shoots it. So we are well able to manifest those things that we want to manifest by focusing what? Focusing our minds and getting spirit involved in the situation. And what is this with the King of Vessels? This is something new. In this deck, for me, this is something new. So we are manifesting something that actually is new. It's kind of good that this person is not collaborating with us, because really it's time to let the idea of this collaboration go. It's time to manifest something that's absolutely new. We're going to be successful at it. The reason I say the King of Vessels is something new, in this particular deck, we have a heron showing up as the King of Vessels. Well, the heron is always awake at sunrise, so he always watches the day come in. So we have our heron watching something new. Well, you're creating that something new through your own focus and through getting spirit involved. All right? Don't stress out about what's not working out as far as a collaboration. Doesn't even matter. Next, what's the next project that you really want to work on? Let's focus on that. All right? Well, I don't know how you should feel either. I'm not sure that you should feel any kind of way about it. Actually, kind of just is what it is, right? Or is not what it is not. All right, so let's see here. Anybody who wants a message or has a question, put it in the chat, please. We're going to start making our list. Making our list and checking it twice. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Devanya. Okay. Guidance for Devanya. Devyani, I mean. Guidance regarding meeting the right person. Oh man, I already know what's going to come up for that one, but we're going to do it. Let's see here. All right. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all, but at least I got you. Got myself muted so I wasn't coughing in your ear. All right, so Sister Girl, copy and paste your question in. Now is the time. Cheryl Ford wants a message from Spirit. Boobity doo 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 doo, boobity doo, boobity doo doo doo. Divine timing. I don't see anything from you. Do you want a message? Is anybody else missing? Who else is missing? That's it. Okay, we're not missing anybody else. Okay. All right. And divine timing, am I saying this right? Your name is Rhoda, right? I'm terrible with names and faces. So I think that's Rhoda. And Rhoda wants boo ba doo doo. Okay, good. Excellent. Okay. I like the messages from Spirit because people can get piggybacks off of those more easily than some of the specific questions. But I also understand people need specific questions sometimes. And by the way, guys, if I don't answer your question here, you can just get a one question reading. If you look at recorded readings on my website, I have my one question readings there. Rhoda wants to know, what does she need to know most this week? It is Monday. No, it's Tuesday. Okay, so that's Rhoda. Sister Girl here. Sister Girl, am I thinking right? Are you Angelique? Tell me your first name. Make sure that I'm not getting all. Ariana. Well, I had the A right. Look at me. I had the A right. Gotta always look at the positive stuff. She knew I was going to ask that question too. Okay, Ariana wants to know. Gotta quit saying Savannah's last name. What if somebody's in here that knows her and calls her out? All right. Savannah. Is Savannah Trevor's baby mama? I'm so proud of myself for knowing that phrase. That's the phrase that the kids have. We never called anybody nobody's baby mama when I was growing up. I learned that from y'all. See, I am 31 for the 24th time, y'all. Maybe. Do you know everybody she knows? All right, let's see here. We're starting with Devyani. Guidance regarding meeting the right person. The right person. What kind of guidance would you like to give Devyani regarding meeting the right person for her love life? Boop-a-doo. According to the parameters that she has. Look what fell. Maybe we'll take these. Start with lovers. Oh, hell. Devyani. Here's your guidance for meeting the right person. You got some fears to face. Time to face some fears. Of your own. That's what's going to get you over this challenge of meeting the right person. What are these fears that Devyani has that she needs to face? Let's find out about that. What is this fear? There's a couple of them they're saying. Okay, well, show me what these fears are. Devyani, you're going to be like, oh, of course that's true. As soon as I say this, I guarantee you. What are these fears that Devyani has to face so that she can meet the right one? Tell me about these fears. Tell me about these fears. Tell me about these fears. It is the Wildwood. Yes, ma'am. This is the kind of deck I learned on. I had to retire that deck. This is actually the third generation of that deck that I've got right now. Uh-huh. Well, we're going to look at these fears. You're going to say, oh, just as soon as I tell you. Look at this. Look at this. You don't trust yourself to make the best decision possible. First of all, look at this. This is a card that talks about clarity. This is a card that talks about the Tower. Big shakeup. Whenever it comes to clarity, you don't trust yourself. And the Seven of Vessels, the mourning, getting over the mourning. So it looks to me like maybe you've made some bad decisions in the past as far as the right person. And now you're letting that go. You're getting over that. Or at least you need to, you know, you need to recognize that in hindsight, you can at least see the problems. That's a good start, right? And in the past, when you thought that you had chosen the right person and then it ended up being a tower situation, which means it came down violently and explosively, that really shook your own trust in yourself, being able to make those decisions. Here we see you getting over that. This is something that Spirit wants you to get over. Spirit wants you to realize that was then. You know a lot more now. Like you can look in the past now and go, you know what, that was a red flag I should have caught. So you know more now. It's time to trust yourself that you have learned from the experiences that you had in the past. But one of your fears is that I'll pick the wrong person and then I'll regret it and it'll be ugly. That tower can be really ugly. The other fear that we have coming up here. The other fear is that you'll fall in love with somebody and they won't fall in love with you back. They won't like you. That's your fear there. And that could come from the idea that maybe you've dated some dismissive people that you really fall in love with and they're suppressing their feelings. As soon as things start to get good, they're out the door, 86, and man, bye, I'm out. That could be where that fear comes from. Getting really comfortable with yourself and recognizing that, you know what, I don't really need anybody in my life. Like, yes, it would be nice to have somebody else in my life, but I don't need them. Helps you to not get so to where you get so upset when somebody who's dismissive just like disappears for a while. You know, lots of other people out there. There's not just one right one for everybody, guys. There's always the right one for right now, but as far as the long term, we can make it work if we choose to with a lot of different people. Okay, so we've got Devyani. You have to get past your fears. Cheryl Ford wants a message. It was the first one given to you? So it's the first one you worked with, too. Here's the thing. Right now, Devyani, if somebody comes up, you wouldn't know a good partner if it smacked you in the face, which of course it wouldn't. Let's change it. Let's change it. You would not know a good partner. You wouldn't know a good partner if it came around you wearing polo green. Old school. Because you got to deal with your fears first. You got to deal with those fears about your judgment. Once you deal with those fears about your judgment, then you'll recognize. So, there's a little story about polo old school. That's why I say that. So, back in the late 90s, I was working in an office job. And there was an older gentleman in the office that couldn't really see all the buttons on the copier very well to do things that he needed to do. And I was sitting, my desk was actually like right across from the copier, so I could see all of his torture that he was going through. And so I would hop up real quick and say, hey, what are you trying to do? And then I would just help him do it. Only took a few seconds, no big deal. Well, one day, this guy comes in, and you have to picture this like I'm in my 30s. I'm in my late 20s at that point. He is probably bucking 70. Little bit of a bigger guy, just definitely like not appealing, not appealing to me at least. I'm sure somebody thought he was awesome, but not appealing to me. He comes in one day, he's at the copier and he's having a hard time while he's wearing the old school polo green. Must have had a date after work, I don't know. But ladies, it was bad. I helped him with his copies. I stood there and talked to him while the copies got done. When he went to walk away from the copier, I caught myself following him. I followed him for 2 or 3 steps before I caught myself following him, all because he was wearing polo green, and I was just pheromonally entranced. So that's why I made the joke about you wouldn't know a good partner if it was wearing polo green. Because I'm a sucker for polo green. Somebody wears polo green around me, I'm going to be attached to their hip. All right, Cheryl, message for you. I think we've shuffled enough. Good thing nobody I'm interested in is in this room, because that is way too much of a secret weapon to give away. Boopity-doo-doo-doo-doo. Boopity-doo. All right, here we go. Miss Cheryl. Okay, we're starting with the Guardian. So this talks about facing some kind of fear. Coming face to face with it. All right. And we've got my healings card here. 7 of Stones in this deck. It talks about healing. So with this basically says you've got some kind of fear. I think you've got some kind of fear about something medical that you're going through right now. And maybe you've told me about it and I just don't remember. That would be par for the course for me. But you may have a situation that maybe you know you're going to have surgery and you're worried about healing up for it, or maybe you're already in the process of healing up from something and it's taking longer than you expected, and you've got a lot of fear showing up here. Okay. So let's look at your best advice around this. This is funny. Okay, so we have a shaman showing up in reverse. Shaman tells me that, yeah. Shaman tells me that maybe the doctors don't necessarily know what to do for you. Because our shaman, that's our master manifester. They can pretty much do anything. But when he's in reverse, he's not, he's kind of beating his head against the wall. And I just get this hit that this is a doctor that doesn't really know what to do next. I think they're perplexed because something's going on that isn't working right now. But here's the thing here with this Queen of Bows. This talks about doing something behind the scenes. And I think this, whatever this is that you're doing behind the scenes, I think this is going to help. Or you're going to come up with something that you're doing that isn't, doctor prescribed. It's going to be more of a natural type thing that is actually going to help this healing start to take off more. But I think your doctor's a little bit at a loss. I'm not sure if he's saying that, he or she's saying that to you or not. You're going to have to do something that's a little over and above, whether that's Reiki or whether that is learning how to eat for whatever this is, or whether this is finding better ways to do your PT or whatever this is. This is doing something without recognition behind the scenes. So this is even doing something that other people really don't even know you're doing, so that you can get this healing to move along. Part of that too is going to be mindset. If we're afraid of something, then we're giving that fear attention. So you want to starve that fear of attention. Focus on something else, or else focus on what it's going to feel like to be completely up to snuff. All right, I hope that makes sense for you, Miss Cheryl. You know how the deal is, past, present, or future. Boobity-doo-doo, boobity-doo, divine timing. Yes, you can change your question. That was for Cheryl. And anybody who got a piggyback? Let's see. Well, I can't imagine why, because you don't think they're worth anything. You're here, but it's Rhoda's turn, actually. What is your question, sister girl? You're after Rhoda. La da 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 da. You're working on quitting smoking. Oh. Oh. I have a thing that I can do to help you with that. I don't even have it on my website anymore because nobody ever used to notice it. But I do have an energetic healing modality. I charge you $50 to help you with that energetically. And it just gives you a leg up so that you can actually be more successful in it. And you can come back for a redo up to 5 times. But after that, I have to say, look, we got to start over because something's up here. I don't know what your intentions really are. But I've only actually had somebody come back like once or twice. And he came back because his life was going crazy about 3 months after I did it the first time. Somebody died and his wife was getting really uptight about stuff, and there was a lot going on. But generally, I don't have people come back after the initial. Boo-ba-da-doo-doo-doo. Okay, so let's see. Divine timing. Well, we can ask for that. That's an interesting question that spiritual gifts. I would say at least half of the time, if not more, Spirit ends up telling me part of their practice is to figure that out. So shut up, Amista, but we could ask and see what shows up. Hopefully they won't say shut up, Amista. We're not going to tell you. We are going to use the Lenormand for this, though. Let's see. What will you let me tell Divine Timing about her spiritual gifts, please? What will you let me tell Rhoda about her spiritual gifts, please? If anything, what will you let me tell Rhoda about her spiritual gifts? I'm going to put down 9 cards. If the center card comes up as the book, then I know that it's a secret. The book can be any other place, but if it's in the center, then I know I can't tell you. If it shows up any other place, that'll be fine. We will talk. Whoopity-doo-doo-doo. It's not the book. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. That's a nice card. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to tell you I don't have the anchor showing up on the table, which tells me that the anchor would say about job or work. All right. So for your gifts, I don't know that you would necessarily make them your life's work. With something like this would talk about, using them in everyday life, maybe even in all areas of your life. Now, the moon talks about reflection, can talk about meditation, reflection. Yeah, mental and emotional stuff is what we'd go with there. Okay. Now, the lilies, what you got on this bottom row, which is not on the camera, the lilies talk about a few things. They can talk about sexuality, but I don't have anything else here that says that your gift is to be a sexual worker. So we're going to move away from that. One of the other things that it can mean is it can mean peacefulness or old age. I think this has to do with peacefulness. Okay. So this means you don't like that answer. What answer? You don't like the reflection part or you don't like the sex worker part? I have had somebody that came in front of me that I forget what they were asking me even, but it came up that she was a sex worker and it came straight up in the reading and I had to say it to her. Very uncomfortable for me, but she took it very matter-of-factly. Anyway, moving on. So this talks about, I think this is talking about peacefulness here. Oh, and I gotcha. Hello there, Alicia. Welcome, welcome. So the key means certainly or faux show, if you want to look at it for a literal transformation. If you feel like being ladylike and professional, you can use this certainly. If you feel like being a little bit hillbilly and country girl like me, then you say faux show when you look at this card. So faux show, reflection, leading to peace. Okay? So for me, like I always wear the peace sign, inner peace is the most important thing to me. So this could be something about, that your gift is, first of all, to find your own inner peace. It could also be saying, but I don't have the garden here. The garden would talk about doing something in public. So I think this is meditating to find your own inner peace is the first gift right now. I was going to say maybe you are leading meditations, but like I said, I don't have the garden here, so this wouldn't be doing this for other people. Now, my next diagonal is the ring. The ring talks about making a commitment. Making a commitment when it comes to reflection to upgrade it with the stork. The stork card talks about upgrading something. So we're upgrading that commitment to the idea of reflection or meditation. Okay? So when it comes to your gifts, that's what Spirit wants you to do so far. Now, look at, oh, this is interesting. First we had commit to the upgrade here. Now we have make a decision about reflection. And make this decision in a way, look, we've got the scythe here. The scythe talks about suddenly, or it can also talk about completely. It's a complete cut when you cut with the scythe. Something is completely cut down when you cut with that scythe, okay? So you're making a decision around your reflection. And to me, this decision, the scythe, is kind of the perfect thing to go along with the decision, because Bob Proctor did a teaching that I heard that has stuck with me. And I've read it other places too, where once we make a decision, that is a cut. It's a cutting away. As long as we haven't decided about something, we can go this way or we can go that way. But once we've decided, then we've cut away one of our options, or maybe multiple options, and we're focusing on a certain path. So for me, the scythe makes perfect sense that we're cutting away some of the other options so we can focus on the decision that we make. The decision that we see you making here, that Spirit is suggesting, commit to the idea of upgrading your reflections, your meditations, upgrading your spiritual practice. Okay? Now, make that decision and make it a firm one where once the other options have been cut away, they can't come back. They haven't been pruned. They've been totally, completely cut. All right? Now, what do we have on our horizontal in the middle here? We have the sun. The sun talks about great energy. Great energy. Okay? Even maybe a power supply. So we've got the sun here. We've got the key above the sun. This is saying, for sure, this brings great energy to an upgrade. If you make the decision to cut away any other obstacles so that you can really do some reflecting. Okay? And then right here we have the mice. Why do we have the mice here? The mice talk about chewing away at something. The mice talk about chewing away at some kind of commitment to peacefulness. So I think what's happened in the past is that you have made that commitment to upgrade your spiritual practice, your connection with Sacred Spirit, and you made that decision and you were on track with your meditation and stuff. But with the mice coming up on this side of the spread, this means that you've let that commitment slip. And also, by you letting that commitment slip, some of your peace has slipped away as well. Basically, Spirit's advising, when it comes to your spiritual gifts, Spirit's advising, if you want to have spiritual gifts, you got to get back into your spiritual practice again. Those don't just come to you and fall on you and then they're yours forever. No, they don't. Sorry, Charlie, but they just don't. So, right now, baby steps. Develop those spiritual gifts through that meditation. Okay? Kendrick Lamar. That name seems familiar, but I can't think who that is. I hope that that's coming across funny. Faux show. You're quite welcome, honey bunny. I'm sorry it wasn't exactly the answer that you wanted. Oh, okay. That was super controversial, too. I never did understand what the controversy was because I didn't watch the halftime show. I was like, people get upset about the crazy things, don't they? Ariana. Okay. We have an interesting question here. Ariana. Ariana. No, I take that back. I did watch the halftime show. I think a bunch of it went over my head, though. I don't know what I was thinking about at the time I was watching it, but I was having a hard time comprehending what they were trying to say. I knew he had a message. Just wasn't sure what it was. Ariana. Is Savannah Trevor's baby mama? is Savannah, Trevor's baby mama. Let's see, let's see, let's see. You got to get back into your spiritual practice to find out. I bet you it comes up during your meditations. This is true. This is true. Did you see Eminem put out a nice message video not that long ago, too? There's no yes, probably there. That was too strong in your advice around that to be a yes, probably. That's a faux show. That's a faux show. You got to meditate, upgrade your spiritual practice to find out. I just had something flying around in here, spirit-wise, off to my left. It wouldn't have been on the camera, but that was wild. Think I'm going to be smudging a little bit later. Ariana. Yes, Savannah. Trevor's baby mom. Ba-ba-da-da-ba. Oh. Oof. Oh, you got some really interesting cards here. They boil down to a no. They boil down to a no. I want to know if Trevor knows that. Does Trevor know that? Does Trevor know that Savannah's not his baby mama? Happy April Fool's Day. I almost forgot. I did forget, actually. Does Trevor know that Savannah is not his baby mama? We're getting into the juicy stuff here, guys. Oh, yeah, this is what the juice is all about. We should do a magazine here. Okay, so here's the thing. Trevor does not know. She is not the baby mama. I mean, that's all over this. That's all over this first spread. Look at this. Lovers in reverse. Nay, nay. Produce no baby. Seven of Bows in reverse. There's some baggage here that is not cleared away, though. That's what made me wonder. Ancestor in reverse. They have no commitment to each other. There is no. This is like my marriage card or my hand fasting card, hand binding card. Nay, nay. No commitment here. Look at this. Two of Wands. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice. There may be. He may be like one of the people that could have been the baby daddy, but he is not it. And the King of Stones talks about letting something go. Now, because of this card that says there's some baggage that hasn't been taken care of here, that's what made me wonder, does he know she's not the baby mama? I don't think he knows she's not the baby mama. And now, guess what? Now you know that she is not. Now, what are you going to do with that information? Because you're going to look like a total B word if you try to say that without any evidence or verification. Yeah, she might have. I'm not sure that this is Trevor's baby, honey. And I don't know that Trevor knows that this is not his baby. So when I look at does he know, check this out. We have our Queen of Stones. Our Queen of Stones was trying to decide, do I stick with something comfortable or I go into territory I don't know anything about? Two of Stones talks about this was a challenge. This whole situation was a challenge. She was hoping for a reunion with the Six of Cups. She had some good memories with Trevor. Three of Vessels in reverse. I think she was annoyed with the outcome. Four of Stones, Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. I think that whatever support he gives her, however much that is or is not, but whatever support he gives her, that helps her to feel safe, stable, secure, a little bit protected from the outside world. She may even figure that he would give more support than whoever else might also be the dad. But this would be something like, this would be something where you get a paternity test, man, because I don't think she really does. Does she know that Trevor is not the dad? We're going to dig right down to the bottom of this. Does she know that Trevor is not the dad? She does not know that. Does she know that there might be somebody else that's the dad? Oh, she doesn't know that. She's just decided she wants Trevor to be the dad, and she's just figured she's going to just go with that. As far as she's concerned, Trevor's the dad, whether there's physical evidence or not. It is tea. We got a lot of tea on that one. This is why you should come get a live reading with me. We get to the bottom of the stuff, man. All right, let's see. That was Ariana. Let's see. Alicia, are you still here? LP, you can scroll back and pick up the Reiki, or you can schedule a session with me. If you want to schedule a session, that would be great. La da 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 da. And Alicia, do you want a message? Let's see. Okay. So Alicia's next. And then LP, do you have a question for me or do you just want a message from Spirit? I'm going to take that as a message for Spirit, from Spirit. All right. Let me wet my whistle. And then y'all are going to be the last two I do on this live stream. Okay, Alicia. Message from Spirit for Miss Alicia today. Bum ba da da ba bum ba da. Bum ba da da ba 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 da 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 da. Bum ba da da bum ba da da bum ba da da. Ooh. Excuse me. Mm. This is really interesting. Ha. Okay. All right. I see what's happening here. Okay. So, Alicia, with the stag and with the adder together and the stag in reverse, The stag in reverse talks about somebody who's doing things in a corrupt way, somebody who can be mean or can be lying. They have authority, but they abuse their authority some way or another. And with the King of Bows, this is interesting. This almost comes up as someone that is sort of like has a split personality, like they're being really icky to you, but other people see them as like the expert in their field and oh so wonderful and salt of the earth type of people. And yet for whatever reason, whenever it comes to you, I think they're being ugly to you. But not to everybody else. They've got everybody else fooled. Everybody else thinks that they're just this wonderful expert person. Best advice or heads up. So we start off with the archer. The archer talks about doing something probably along with somebody else, but definitely along with spirit's backing. Really having a target or a goal, having a plan on how to get there and focusing on it and doing it to it, man. And at first I was really befuddled by this because I've got my Eight of Vessels in reverse, which for me talks about walking back into a bad situation or a situation that left us depleted or exhausted in the past at least. And I was like, why would she walk back into that? But I think what's going on here, see how this archer's arrow is pointing right at this card, the center of this card? I think that maybe somebody wants you to walk back into that situation, but you're putting the big kibosh on it. And maybe you've even got some moral support or somebody helping you put the big kibosh on the idea of walking back into this situation. And we see you here instead realizing, look, I know what I have to offer. I know what I bring to the table. Whether this is like an ex or whether this is an old boss, whatever this is, you're looking at, I know what I have to offer. And with what I have to offer, I don't have to walk back into that situation. I'm killing that idea. Shooting the arrow straight through that heart. Okay, so this is what we have, Alicia. I hope it makes sense for you. LP. Remind me of your first name, L. Leith. Okay. What are you saying is Sagittarius? Boop-a-doo-doo. That strength card in reverse is not. Or that stag card in reverse is not, I should say. If that's what you're thinking. Archer energy. No, that's Cancer. It would be equivalent to the Chariot in another deck. Sag, Sun, Moon, and Leo. Oh my goodness, you're a lot of fire. Whew. That's a lot of fire, man. I'm Aries rising in my Vedic, but I'm a Taurus rising in Western astrology. Well, thank goodness. You're going to have some earth to cover up that fire once in a while. Put it out. Put it out. Round. I can't even imagine a Capricorn Venus. That is just completely incomprehensible to me. My Venus is in Scorpio along with my Sun, my Mercury, and my Neptune. Saturn Pisces is not very comfortable either. You're a little too stable. I don't know if there's too stable. Okay. Message from Spirit for Elise. Coming from somebody who is far from stable in relationships. I don't know if there's too stable. I can't imagine. That would be nice. If I get bored in a relationship, I'm just like sitting on my hands, not trying to stir up any drama. Okay, best message from Spirit for Elise. I try to stick with the boring relationships actually, because those are the most healthy ones. But then it does get boring, and I really like the chemistry. I'm a Scorpio after all. I like the chemistry. An old boss came in. Ah, she always comes back on the full moons. That tells you something right there. Man, that tells you something right there, man. No, nobody wants to work to somebody who's mean to you. That's awful. Nobody wants, you spend too many hours at work to be dealing with a mean person there, I think. That's just me. All right, so let's see here. Leith, what do we have? We're starting off with the Two of Vessels, which is attraction. And we've got Justice. What the heck? Leith, what is going on? Bye bye. Hmm. So, the Woodward, oh, this can be like a common law marriage. This can be a justice of the peace thing. This is making a big decision. So I think there's something going on that you're attracted to. It doesn't have to be a person, but you're making a big decision regarding whatever this is that's kind of pulling you in and has your attention that you want to know more about. It's attracting you. Well, this can be past, present, or future. You know how that rolls if you don't recognize it from the past or the present. But there's something that you're really drawn to, and you're making a big decision about that with the Woodward. Okay. If you're very single, it's hard for me to imagine somebody coming in and saying, "Oh, let's elope or let's go to the justice of the peace." I mean, unless they want a green card or something. But, who knows? Do we have green cards anymore? God only knows. So this says to me that this is you're making a decision about something that you're attracted to, or maybe even somebody. You may be making a decision about, do I pursue getting to know this person or not? Right? Well, sometimes you have to heal before you get your luck back. Now, it's interesting what comes up here with this decision that you're making. First of all, we have the Four of Arrows, which talks about rest. It's actually like unwanted downtime generally. And it allows us, because it is that downtime, we're not doing the things we would normally be doing. It allows us to think about things we normally wouldn't think about. So this could be a break. And maybe it's a break from this idea of having to make decisions about things you're attracted to. And maybe this break has allowed you to do some healing because that's what the Four of Swords is all about. You get a different perspective on things. Yeah. Yeah, well, this could be talking about what you've actually been going through. With the seer, this is really interesting because didn't you just say you've been doing introspection? Yes. The seer does a lot of introspection. She's also, sometimes the seer is known as the ice queen. You don't really see it so much in this depiction. I have seen it in some other tarot decks where you could pick that up more easily. But she can be known as the ice queen. The seer kind of keeps to herself, you know. She has a lot of information other people don't necessarily have access to, and sometimes it's a hard burden to carry when you're around other people. So it's easier just to kind of keep to yourself and sort of keep your mouth shut unless, somebody actually asks or something like that. Very cool. And then we have the Five of Vessels. Oh, something's getting ready to pop, baby. Look at this. Five of Vessels is this idea of, oh, man, this is not going the direction I thought it would go. I think you're about ready to make some kind of breakthrough and move forward with a person because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to try to keep this as G rated as I can, but I'm going to tell you right now, the toys ain't cutting it for you anymore. Okay? Yep. Yep. I think you're getting ready to have a breakthrough. And it's because you're making some decisions about attraction and about love. What are you attracted to? What is good for you? You've had this downtime. You've rethought what you really want. You've got a whole different perspective on it. You've kind of kept to yourself for a while, doing a lot of introspection. And now you're at the point, man, the toys just ain't cutting it. Oh, you've got some changes coming in, all right. All right, well, since we ended on that little X rated, G rated proclamation, it's time for me to take off and see what other kind of trouble I can get into around here. Y'all, if you want a live reading with me or if you want a recorded reading with me, just reach out to me. All my contact information is on the website that you see there on the screen. I really appreciate you guys all coming in and hanging out with me and keeping me company. That helps me a lot to enjoy these. Everyone have a fantastic, wonderful, thrilling day. Oh, and by the way, I am doing a tarot class where I'm teaching tarot from everything I wish I would have known before I bought my first deck, all the way up through how to use spreads and how to create your own spreads. So that is available, and it's actually at a very reasonable price for all the information that I'm putting out there. You can check out my website for that. And everybody have a fantastic evening. Peace